It is still relatively nice out for early November, but experts say the dreaded flu season has already arrived.
Now, doctors advise everyone to go out and get a flu shot to protect yourself from the virus. But as Delane Cleveland reports in today's Health Check, there are still myths that persist about the influenza vaccine.
Thanks, Mike. I'm joined here by Dr. Stacene Maroushek of Hennepin County Medical Center, who's going to debunk some of those myths about the flu. So first off, there's a perception out there that the influenza vaccine can give you the flu. So is there any truth to that?
Well, I think that perception is out there because of a number of reasons. One is that people will go to a clinic to get their flu vaccination, and they're exposed to all sorts of infectious agents, cold, viruses, other infectious agents. When they go there, they leave the clinic in a few days, they're sick with whatever virus was in the waiting room at that time, and then they say, oh, it must have been because of the shot. So that's one thing that happens. The other thing that can happen is the flu vaccine is meant to stimulate your immune system to recognize flu, and that process sometimes make people a little achy, can sometimes give them low-grade fevers, so they don't maybe feel terribly ill, but they feel not quite normal, and some people are like, oh, it gave me the flu. The vaccine is incapable of giving somebody infectious flu particles.
All right, now something else I hear often is that there are certain segments of the population that should just get the flu shot, but apparently it's not the case. What can you tell me about that?
The current recommendations is everyone from 6 months of age and older, unless you have a true contraindication, should be getting the flu vaccine. We know that even healthy people that don't have any chronic medical conditions can die from influenza, and they do die every year. We have about 4,000 hospitalizations every year in Minnesota because it weakens your immune system enough that you get secondary infections like pneumonia, bloodstream infections, meningitis.
What are the consequences about not getting a flu shot? What can happen?
Well, if you don't get a flu shot, you are at risk of getting the flu. There's no way to protect whether you're going to be exposed or not exposed. The other big thing is that it takes 2 weeks for the flu vaccine to work. So if you get a flu vaccine and then you get exposed to influenza 3 days later, you may still get the flu in that 2-week period, and so then they'll say, oh, it didn't work for me. I think people also confuse stomach flu, gastrointestinal vomiting diarrhea, with influenza, which is really a respiratory cough, high fever, shaking chills, headache, muscle pain illness. And they say, oh, you know, I got the flu vaccine and now I have the stomach flu. So it was the flu vaccine that gave me the stomach flu.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Maroushek, for joining us and debunking some of these flu myths.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right, Mike and Alex, back to you.